Waiting. Is anybody there? Locus. Looks like we're live. There's so much we wanted to cover this week, but there's just not enough time. And this is what we need to go. This is what we need to go over. As we said before, really all these lectures or all these streams, they're all the same thing. It's just slightly different. This week, in Rabbi Reuven's last lecture, he talked about anxiety and people feeling like they don't have any control, like they're worried about war and just general life problems, anti-Semitism, and evil people, government, or problems with legal issues and all kinds of things. Basically, everything a person doesn't want to deal with, he'll worry about. The Bet Levi says a person that worries about unnecessarily about things that don't really have any basis in reality, like just worry about all the like bad possibilities that may occur, the person brings that thing on themselves. The Baruch Hashem, we learned about what Rabbi Reuven talked about in the lecture last night that went live this morning, or was published on YouTube today, where he's talking about the admitting that we don't have any control, only over what we have control over. We learned about this in drug and alcohol recovery, and this is what I've been talking about. All the stuff in the Torah, all the concepts, at least some of them. Every single person has something that we learned in our life that we found immensely valuable. That if we learn the 5 books of Moses, we learn from a righteous rabbi like Rabbi Reuven that teaches the truth. We will learn that everything good must be found in the Torah. Everything. It's just at first it doesn't look like that. At first it looks like some big old blue book with a lot of confusing stuff in it. But what scientists and behavioral therapists call the locus of control, the sages call minding your 4 amot. Or the common recovery phrase is worry about your own 6 feet, not what other people are doing. We can't control what other people do. I mean, sometimes we think it might be nice. I mean, half the time we can't even control ourselves or own emotions very well. And that's the whole key, is to focus not on what other people are doing or what might happen, or conspiracies and anxieties and the Freemasons or the aliens run the world, or the Zionists, or evil bankers like I forget what's his name, nothing and you'll be happy guys, which oddly enough is the best way to view life. we have to worry about what we can control. We can only control our own actions. And the amazing thing that I've learned about using the Torah as a recovery program, not just for drugs and alcohol and addiction, but for life, as it makes everything so extraordinarily simple. Anytime I have a problem, it's super easy. Who's to blame? It's me. It's my fault. Where's the source of, it's not the person or the organization or the weather or a random act of occurrence that happens that is to blame. It's my actions that I need to delve on. Where am I wrong? Because God is sending me a message that I need to do something. I need to change. Like last Friday, a week ago, I was streaming a little too long. God sent me a message. He had something like right when I was talking about the that no judgment comes to a person without there being a court of heaven convened to see whether or not just they but everyone around them uh, deserves to get whatever malady or suffering. Right then, somebody hit the mailbox at their house and knocked it off the post. And I've been doing fairly good recently. I thought, this is just a rectification. This is an opportunity, but no, it's more than that, because there's a really odd thing, or not odd, but symbolic. Is a mailbox. God sending me a message that I have a lot of work to do. I still need to do a lot of teshuvah, a lot of repentance, and this is part of that, because the only way to truly fix what we've done in the past is to help other people. But even in the like not so nice messages that we get, there's always an opportunity to turn them into something good. Man, it's kind of loud. Let's just say that everything, this goes in hand in hand, so say, with the locus of control, minding our four amot, not worrying about what other people are doing, and fixing ourselves. And at first, a person hears this and they think, that doesn't make any kind of sense. That's not logical. And that's absolutely correct. It's not logical. There are certain things that can be borne out by reason, but there are other things where it's just beyond human comprehension. How can my changing my actions affect what other people do to me? I mean, let's reason a little bit of it out. Part of it is by changing our actions, other people that we interact with will perceive us differently. And so our interactions, even if they're with people that we don't find so nice, if we improve ourselves, our interactions with other people will be improved. It's kind of like our behavior rubs off to a certain degree on other people, but sometimes it takes, like Rabbi Reuven says, sometimes it takes a long time for that to occur. He says, just, bear with it, keep doing what you're doing, keep working on yourself, learn Musar, learn character development, fix yourself, because, you're the one that's at fault, not everybody else. Don't go looking at, they did this and they did that, and the government's doing this, and, this wicked organization is doing this and that. Focus on your 6 feet, your 4 amot. Extend your hand to whatever you can physically grasp. Move it around. I would really barely that. We barely have that. But that's all we can affect is really ourselves. Learn to work. We have to learn to work on our anger. Learn to work on our laziness, our greed, our jealousy. We have to learn to view people favorably, at least if they haven't done anything wrong to us, or according to God. We have to view others favorably until they've lost that privilege, and then only in the things that they go against. But there's the irrational part is eventually if you're fixing yourself to enough of a degree and doing really well, even the people that we interact with, or rather the people that we don't interact with, they have no contact with us whatsoever, just random people in life. If we're really doing the right thing, everything will run smoothly. Let's say, just saying Pirkei Avot, if I forget which Mishnah it is, but the gist of it is basically if a person is doing right by God, then all the creation, meaning all the people, will find him pleasant. And if not, then there's something wrong that we need to work on. We need to look at our lives, inspect our deeds, which we can't know what to inspect really with much detail unless we learn Torah, learn Musar, learn the ethical teachings from Pirkei Avot, listen to a lot of Rabbi Reuven's lectures, and take notes and focus. I mean, I've been in this kind of mind frame for a little while now, and when I hear other people and the stuff that they get bent out of shape about or worry about seems so ridiculous. Like, who's going to be elected, or who is elected, what government, who's the president, or which wicked senator is trying to pass some abomination of a bill. And other than our measly effort to protest, if it's something that goes against the Torah, other than that, it's out of our hands. All we can do is change ourselves, improve ourselves, so we have the merit, so that we can earn the right to have more blessings, more good. Because if there's some evil decree, some horrible government, some bad law that gets passed, it is only the fault of the people that live under that law that are to blame. It's not the government, not the corrupt corporations or political action committees or politicians. It's us. We need to change. As God says through the prophet Jeremiah in chapter 26, verse 12, as he's rebuking the nation, therefore amend your ways and your acts, and heed the Lord your God, that the Lord may renounce the punishment that he has decreed for you. There's a really awesome lesson that we've been saving. We need to do a whole stream on it later, but it is the Nazir, which has so many lessons for every human being in it, but most importantly for people who are recovering addicts or current addicts or any kind of addiction, really. But the Nazir in Parashat Naso, I believe, where is it here? I believe it's in the book of Leviticus. I may be wrong, though. I can't remember. Parashat Naso is all I know. The Nazir is a person who swears off drinking wine for a period of time, and they don't cut their hair. And the Torah calls them holy when they do this. But the sages say there's a reason why the episode of the Nazir is in direct proximity after the episode of the Sotah, the wayward woman, because they say one who witnessed the degradation of the Sotah, the act that has gone through is pretty not exactly something anyone should witness, but it's something that has to be done as a threat, basically, to get the wayward woman to confess that she put herself in a situation that wasn't proper. Otherwise, she has to drink this what the sages call bitter water that causes curse, where she blows up and her body swells and she explodes and dies. But part of this process is the Sotah gets her shirt ripped open by the Kohanim, and then the last thing isn't getting her shirt ripped open as a degradation. It's removing her head covering. And from this, the sages say that we learn that it's not the flesh that is considered the most immodest thing for a married woman, according to God. It's uncovered hair. The Holy One, blessed be he, said, just like a Nazir whose vow not to drink wine also forbids him to eat fresh or dried grapes, to drink grape juice, or to consume any derivatives of grapes. Man is likewise prohibited from touching any woman other than his wife. And any person who touches another woman other than his wife brings death upon himself. This prohibition relates. Hold on. Pages. What an extraordinary statement this is, for this prohibition is compared to the vow of a Nazir, in which the primary prohibition relates only to drinking of wine. Nevertheless, the Torah forbids forbids them anything that is related to wine. By means of this, the Torah instructs our sages how to go about making a fence around the Torah by exercising the authority vested in them for safeguarding the Torah's safeguards. And in this endeavor, they will learn from the case of a Nazir that for the sake of the primary prohibition, one may prohibit anything that is similar to it. What this means is that the Torah uses the mitzvah of the Nazir as a paradigm for what our sages have been authorized to do with all the other commandments. This way we are instructed that this is the will of the Eternal to erect fences around the Torah. Consequently, the Torah states that any prohibition, the sages will know how to prescribe what is not elucidated in the Torah on the basis of what has already been elucidated in the case of the Nazir. And that way, they'll be able to prohibit anything similar to the specific prohibition. Build a fence. And distance yourself from sins and any addiction, anything that's going to cause a damage. At least the things you realize that are going to cause a damage, like alcohol or drugs, or your addiction to pornography, or whatever it is, overeating, any kind of damaging activity. Identify what it is and then distance yourself from it. Like King David says in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 27. Sur mera be'aseto, run, turn from evil and do good. But really it's run from evil. You have to turn in order to run away from the damage, away from the sin. And you have to do that first. We can't do anything good until we first stop doing the bad. One, because we won't really know what is good, how to make what we want that seems good into something really good and lasting. And we have to build a fence to keep ourselves from all the damaging things. Like distance ourselves from everyone that gets high and drunk. Distance ourselves from all the places where we used to get high and drunk, or cop dope, or places where we used to steal to get money, or any kind of damaging act. Build a fence by deleting, scrubbing all your devices, your phone, your laptop, your computer, all the filthy, disgusting porn sites that you use. And then if you have a cloud account, make sure the first thing that you do, you should scrub all that stuff too. Because I made the mistake. I waited and it kept popping up over and over and over again. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. It was something I really wish I would have done right away. So I'd have to see that garbage popping up every time I entered a URL in the browser that had the first like three same words of any, three same letters of any of the disgusting things I had saved, or cookies on my phone or my computer. You got to wipe it out. And these are the things that we have control over. These are our four amot. We can't get rid of Pornhub. We can't shut down the internet. We can't stop all the evil people. The only evil person we can stop is ourselves by changing our actions. And the more we do, the earlier on, the better. Because God grants a person all the assistance that we possibly need, especially at first. It is so. I mean, it seems hard at first, and there's a little hurdle to get over, and the evil inclination will tell you that it's impossible and that you can't do it. And let me tell you, 100%, he is a liar. His signature is lies, and we cannot believe anything he says. We can do it. It is possible, because I have done it. Thousands and millions of other people have done it as well. You just got to take the first step, do something, move forward, and then keep begging God for help, keep learning Torah, keep applying it to your life, and never, ever stop. Like the sages say in Pirkei Avot, never trust yourself until the day of your death. Because no matter how righteous the person is, how long they've lived, and how many good deeds they've acquired, how much Torah they've learned, if they become too confident with their high exalted status, eventually they will fall. We always have to think that we're one step away from losing it all. So we always have to look for what is the next good thing that we can do. What is the next because that's the real key to going very far. Is we need merits. We need merits to see the truth. We need merits to do teshuvah, to repent, to stop doing drugs, to stop destroying our bodies, our minds, and our souls. And just as much as that, we need merits. We need merits so we can help other people that we care about, so they can do the same thing. Because we are in deep spiritual and physical debt. And we got to start working some of it off. Well, the best thing that we can do at first is by every single lecture that you watch, at least lectures of Torah, like Rabbi Reuven's lectures, hit the like button first. Everything you watch, hit the like button, even though it's all fake. Unless we use it for something good, then it becomes real. Then it goes from fake desire for honor and glory to glorifying God's name. And then copy the link for the video and share it. Share it on social media. Share it with someone that you know. And what really works well is if you can take something that you learn from whatever Torah that you learned, listened to, watched, read. Take something and condense one thing into a little sentence or a couple of sentences, like what Rabbi Reuven said I experienced in my life, and this really helped me to stop doing this or that, stop doing drugs, stop wasting seeds, stop watching porn, stop stealing, stop being a spiritual murderer, stop being a heretic, stop being an idol worshiper. Like Rabbi Reuven says, the Torah is the only thing that stands up to any scrutiny. It's the only thing that works. The only thing that you don't have to have white knuckle faith, like white knuckle recovery. Everybody, that's the thing. Everybody has to work a program. There's no such thing as a life of recovery, a life of staying clean and sober, or a life of anything good, now in this world or forever, if we don't work a program. And the lowest level is some secondary source like AA or NA or smart recovery or whatever. Really smart recovery is going straight to the source of everything good, which is the Torah. That is big brain smart recovery. And not picking and choosing like a smorgasbord, like a Thanksgiving buffet. Accepting all of it because it's all right and it's all true, even though we have no idea how some of that can be possible sometimes. But if we learn, eventually all the things that weren't clear, all the things that didn't make sense, all the things that seemed like there's no way they could possibly be true, not only are they true, well, they all work. They all work together. Like Rabbi Reuven says, everything is in the Torah is a spiritual nervous system. It all connects together. Not sure how we can connect this to the Torah portion, other than what Rabbi Reuven mentioned in his lecture yesterday. How life seems like the life of the patriarchs is. That's why Rambam says the reason why there are stories in the Torah in the 5 books of Moses is to teach us lessons of how God runs the world. And the lives of the patriarchs, when we look at them closely with the commentary of the sages, it was definitely not a cakewalk. It's not a walk in the park. Abraham went through some really rough, brutal stuff. At least for if we had to go through it, there's no way. There's no way we'd fall apart. So did Isaac, Isaac, and this week so does Jacob. He leaves his father's house and just asks for food and clothes to wear. And he goes to work for his wicked father-in-law, Lavan, who was a liar and a cheater, and a thief and an idol worshiper. Every evil deed, every evil trait Lavan had. Yaakov just wanted one wife. That's the whole reason why he came to Haran, is to get a wife, to have kids, and continue on with the mission of people in the world, is to glorify God's name. And Lavan changed the deal. He had to work 7 years for a wife that at first he didn't want. Then he had to work another 7 years for the wife that he did want. And then he had to work another 6 years just to be able to leave. And then when he left with all of his wives and kids and possessions, Lavan calls him a thief and runs after him. And all this stuff, everyone says, it all looks like, he's doing everything according to God. Everything God says he does. And yet, at every turn, it looks like everything is going wrong. Like, why does he have to work so long? Why are all these horrible things keep happening? Why is this wicked idol-worshipping thief being allowed to keep change the deal? But he doesn't question God at all. Not Not one time. Everything is just Baruch Hashem. Thank God. This is the best. This is the best. Because he knows it's all temporary. It's all, there's no reason to get anxious or frustrated. The only time he gets upset is at the end when Lavan accuses him of stealing his idols. Because he had emunah, he has faith in God, and bitachon, confidence in God, trust in God that God runs the world, and everything that he does is the best, most amazing thing ever. So there's no reason to be anxious. There's no reason to be worried. There's no reason to look at conspiracies and blame the government and the Zionists and the Freemasons and the bankers and Mossad secret agents. Or communist Antifa, pro Palestine supporters. They're all just tools that God uses to get us to do teshuvah, to wake up, to see the truth, repent, and fix our wicked ways. That's the only reason all the wicked people are allowed to exist, is because they serve a purpose. To act as God's stick or his staff. When the staff to guide the lost or slightly off the path doesn't work, then they turn into a stick and he has to beat them. God forbid. Which unfortunately has been happening recently. Beat them with a stick. That's what we all need to do. We all need to do more so we can get back to the staff. The best staff, Rabbi Reuven says, is the staff of the Torah, where we learn with the help of the sages, with the help of our rabbi. We accept the truth. We do what it says. And it's the best. The best. Even when we don't like to hear what it says, even when we break our head and we break our backs to sit there behind a book or listen to a lecture. We can't focus. That is a billion times better than the stick. A billion times better. One, because no one wants the stick. At all, ever. Not ever. Unfortunately, sometimes we're too stubborn. We're too stupid. We're too addicted to our sins, to our dope fiend mentality. And so God has no choice. He wants us to wake up and see the truth and do what's right, so we don't destroy the world. So he has to whip out the stick sometimes and give us a thrashing. If we're smart, we'll finally open our eyes. We'll finally see the truth and admit that this is true. And there's nothing else. That's all there is, and all we need to do. Then once we do that, even the breaking our head and breaking our back for the guidance of the staff of the Torah becomes just not just something we say this is the best, but it is the best thing. Just because, like Rish Lakish says, if a person wants Torah, they have to be willing to die for it. They have to kill themselves and break their head and break their back and break their body and suffer. And then God will grant them. God will grant them the wisdom of the Torah. At first, the person doesn't understand how valuable it is. But eventually, if we make some kind of effort over enough time, we see enough little bits of wisdom that are more precious than diamonds that we know will help our lives because we saw something like it, we heard something like it, and even though it wasn't the complete truth straight from the source, still it worked a little bit. That's the amazing miracle of God's truth, is even when it's so far from the source and so diluted and so corrupted by liars and just disgusting motives that people have, still the truth is so powerful that still it works. When you go to the source, it just blows, like whatever degree that it worked before, it works even more to an infinite degree. Then you're standing in the right spot, right under the faucet from heaven. To say, all we have control over is our fear of heaven. But everything is in the hand of heaven except for fear of heaven, fear of God. But depending on our fear of God, what level of fear of God that we have, and how much we apply it to our lives by learning and fixing ourselves, we can change all the decrees, all of our everything from blessing in our income to evil decrees that are against us from other people. Even our own lives, even the decree to live or die can be changed if we internalize, if we take our free choice and fight to acquire fear of God, to acknowledge and understand who God is. We can even redeem our souls and our lives. May it be His will that we all wake up. May He grant us all the wisdom and the strength to outsmart and overpower our evil inclination, to finally redeem our lives, redeem our souls, and to do serious teshuvah. Stop messing around. Stop making excuses. Stop putting things off. Stop lying to ourselves and others and to God. Right now. Talk to you guys soon.